Hi guys, Jason with LUMABLADES here. Today I'm going to walk you through a common problem amongst people that are experienced grinders and inexperienced grinders, and that is the dreaded smiley face in the grind where it shoots up. Now this is an older cleaver project that I did a while ago. It's hollow ground, and of course it's got the dreaded smiley face, but not to fear. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through why that happens, what causes that, and how to correct it. Now there's a couple of things that we got to go over here when we're talking about this smiley face. This smiley face has nothing to do with your equipment, has nothing to do with your grinder. It has to do with you, and it has to do with one thing and one thing only: pressure. Let's talk real quick about how it happens. Okay, when you're pushing into the grinder to start your ricasso, to define this portion right here, you either are putting too much pressure and not maintaining that pressure across the length of your grind. Okay, but there's a few tricks and a fairly easy way to overcome this, and this goes with my last video when I said you got to know when to say when. Now every grind's different. This is a hollow grind. I don't know if you could see that. Okay, this is a hollow grind. Now mathematically there's only a fixed height that you can hollow grind to, which is based off of the thickness of your stock before you blow through on both sides. So back to where I say know when to say when, you have to basically not just keep chasing it. Okay, this way I have some room to fix this. Now this is a heat treated project. Use it for my personal camp hatchet cleaver type utility item. It heat treated to a 59 after temper. I was hoping to get a lot harder out of it, but I did not. But you can see I did put some work into it. I put the fuller in it. I put the jimping in the top. It feels really good in the hand. The scales are already done, and it's a really nice project. So now I'm at the tail end of finishing my blades for that Tour Tech rally, that motorcycle rally I'm going to, and I'm going through projects that need to be finished and finishing them up before my Tormach mill arrives. So I'm going to be totally immersed in that for quite some time, and I want to get some stuff done. And I thought I'd do a video because, you know, when I first started, the smiley face was my nemesis. I would try and try and try, and I would get the smiley face all the time, and then I'd chase it out. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on or how to chase it out, and before you know it, I'd have a full grind that went all the way up, or a flat grind, and it just wasn't what I wanted. But I did figure it out eventually, and the only way you're going to figure it out is with time. But I'm going to let you in on a couple of secrets of it that might cut down on your time that you have to chase the grind. First thing is, when you're working with a lot of steels, you're gonna find that when they're not heat treated, they're very grabby. They're very grabby, and you'll be grinding, and all of a sudden it'll jump your blade. That's one thing that could cause it. A solution for that is to heat treat your blank before you start your grind. The only key is you got to keep it cool. You got to quench it every time, every pass. It takes a little longer. It eats belts a little more, but hey, it's just, you know, knife making costs money, and if it costs a little bit more to make your day a little easier, so be it. So I'm going to take you over to the grinder, and I'm going to show you how to get this out. This is gonna, I find that 220 is a good refinement because that puts me right in the hand sand at 120 again. So this is where I'm at. So remember, this is the smiley face. You see that thing that shoots up there? Happens to everybody. Doesn't make you happy. But we're gonna get it out. I'm gonna show you how to get it out. Alright guys, so I'm set up over at my grinder. Got my 10-inch wheel in here because it's a hollow grind. I got the smiley face here, and we're going to work on getting the smiley face out. I have a little smiley face on this side, so that's what we're going to work on. First thing I'm going to do, once I start grinding, I'm not going to be able to talk because I'm going to be wearing my respirator as usual. But I'm going to give you a few brief things with it not running on. First, I'm going to cover why this happens. So as to the why this happens, when we come in, we'll come in for the grind and you'll wind up pushing too hard. Okay? When you push too hard and then you start moving across, if you let off, that's what lowers the line. So if you come in real hard and you push in, because when you're grinding, basically your knuckle should be under here, your thumb should be on the back. Okay, you're not pushing with the thumb, you're pushing with the meat of this knuckle here. It's like a little shelf. Okay, you have a bunch of points to add pressure. So if you come in and first you use the handle of it and you add pressure this way, and then you come across and let off that pressure and don't put any pressure in the middle, what's going to happen, it's going to dig in deeper here, it's going to let off, and it's going to go across. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm not going to dig in here. First I'm going to come right at this point, I'm going to push in pressure, keep pressure going across, and take it across. It's going to take a few passes. I left the scale on from temper and heat treat just to act as die cam for the camera, so you can kind of see where I'm going with it. Okay, so pressure is key here, guys. You really have to learn how to control the pressure of it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in at this point here, and I'm going to add pressure to the backside, pushing in and pull across, even pressure all the way through. First couple of times you may get an uneven grind line, it won't be straight, but then you have all this space here to make up for that. You don't have a ton of space, but you have space here to make up for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw on the grinder, I also forgot to mention I have a brand new 60 grit belt in here. The whole thing with using the heavier grit is so your blade doesn't get as hot and it removes more material. I'm running it at about probably between 40 and 50 on the VFD for the variable speed, and here we go. guys, you can see here I brought it up to where it's equal with the high point of my smiley face. And you can see distinctively where I started my grind and went across. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working this smiley face. I'm going to come hit it back in here and start working it out. And then I'll take a bunch of passes going this way. Okay. I have to add a little pressure here because I'm losing my angle, so you can see the black carbon that was left from, you know, the blade that it hasn't taken out. So I'll work on that as well. Alright guys, so here you have it. I did the weak hand side first, and if you can see this, the smiley face is gone. There you go. 60 grit, and I do everything freehand. Alright guys, so you can see I got the smiley face pretty much gone there. I left a little bit of it because I want to be able to refine and take this up a little bit higher, but I want to do that with 120. And I'll flip it to the other side. You can see I got it on this side as well. Okay? From the front, you can see got the nice little hourglass effect, and the grind lines, they pretty much meet. Like I said, I'm going to take that up further. So as you can tell, you can fix it if you leave yourself some room. Alright guys, trying to get you in on an angle here. If you remember, we had the smiley face that went up really high, and I said we're going to start in. So when we started, the smiley face was up high here. Okay, I said we're not going to worry about where it's up high, and we're not going to start in this section. We're going to start just beyond that section right here, and we're going to bring the grind line point up to meet the smiley face. Okay, then we're going to come back once we have this grind point line meeting the high point of the smiley face. We're going to come back and blend the smiley face out of the equation. Now, how did I do that, you might ask? Everything with grinding knives has to do with pressure. Okay, the steel will tell you where to go. Okay, so how I did it, hopefully this will help. You know, I had the proper grip with this cleaver. It's big and it's hard. It was a little bit harder, but I came in beyond, remember, let's see this choil. This is where the smiley face is. I started beyond the choil on this particular blade. So I came in at the choil, right beyond it, gave it a good amount of pressure, pushing in, pushing with the meat, and pushing with my hand, with my left hand on the handle. Then bring it across straight, keeping constant pressure until I met that line. Then I came in to the ricasso area, started the normal area, and at that point, since this hollow ground is such a big blade, I actually put my thumb on top to keep it flat to the wheel. One nice thing about the hollow grind, once you have a channel, it lets you know where to go. And then I drug it across, keeping it flat to the wheel. And I did that a few times. Okay? So hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight. So it's not over if you make a little mistake. You can see that all is not lost just because you had a smiley face. Okay? I took that smiley face right out on both sides. And with just those few steps, you should be able to rectify almost any situation you might come across. Remember, the key is pressure, and the steel will tell you where it needs to go. Guys, that's how you get rid of the smiley face, man. Smiles aren't always the best thing in the world, right? Because when you see a smiley face on your blade, you're gonna almost want to cry. But don't fear, man. You can fix it. I just showed you how. Alright guys, next time I'll talk to you.